Hi, I'm Duncan, and I'm doing a lot of work with searchers to help them find and acquire a suitable business. As part of my learning about that whole space, I listen to a lot of podcasts. One I listened to recently was the Acquiring Minds podcast. Here is the YouTube version. I listened to the podcast, the audio version. And one thing that the guest, Derek Turner, said really caught my eye or caught my ear. He said, and I've transcribed it here, um, that his major goal is just to take them out to lunch or to offer to take them out to lunch. And he's based in the Phoenix area. So I wondered if you could automate that using my go-to tool, which is clay.com. I started off with a search of the Phoenix area. There are 9,000 results for the company size 11 to 50 employees. You typically, when I'm doing this kind of engagement for a client, I would widen that out to usually to the, I'd include, where's the filter? Yeah, I'd include the 2 to 10 and include the 51 to 200. Go wide at the beginning and then start to narrow it down, okay? Because sometimes LinkedIn is not correct. It could have a large business that has only 2 employees according to LinkedIn and vice versa. Yeah, so that's Phoenix. So I extracted that out earlier. I limited my extraction to just 1,000 because I'm just giving an example here. So Clay pulls out a lot of basic info such as the type of business, the industry, the location, the country, and the domain, and of course the LinkedIn company URL. And then you can start to do stuff from there. And that search is free. Okay. From there, then the location data that it pulls out was insufficient for what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so it only says Phoenix. That's not much good to me. So then I used a very cheap AI tool in Clay, a Clay agent. They call it Clayagent, to find the exact address, and it's super cheap. So you can see here if you click on it, it's like this, which if you multiply that by 10,000, it'll still only be $2 or $3. Okay, so it's very, very cheap to run that in Clay, right? So I found the full address, and then this is the fourth iteration, the fourth version of this AI prompt. I eventually got it to work. And what I was asking it was to look at the address, the full address, and find a restaurant within 1 mile of that location. Now, it doesn't always get it within 1 mile. It's sometimes 2 or 3 or 4, but it's rarely much further than that because I did some manual checks. From there, I then pulled in the name of the restaurant and the address of the restaurant. Okay. Then I got ChatGPT rather than Clayagent to clean up those two inputs. Because when I send this automated pitch, I don't want to include the full restaurant name. That would seem very unnatural. So instead of Barrio Brewing Co., I got ChatGPT to shorten it to just Barrio Brewing. Same thing with J&A's. And the same thing with the address. So we don't need to say Carly's over at 128 East Roosevelt Street, Phoenix. Okay. We can just say Carly's over on Roosevelt. Okay. Because that person will probably roughly know where that is, or at least know what we're talking about, or at least know that there's a street or road with that name nearby. All right. This then, these are my manual checks here. So all that goes together to make the sentence that Derek touched about, that he said, I'm local and I like what I've seen so far with the business. You might like a different phrasing or to go a different direction, but I just wanted to use what Derek used. So the output here is, I'm a local Phoenix guy and I like what I've seen so far about your business. Can I buy your lunch next week at Carly's over on Roosevelt Street? Okay, that's the end product, and that can be automated then for thousands and thousands, or whatever is your catchment area. Let's do a quick check of one of these. So maybe we'll pick Internet Operating Services. Let's find where that is. Okay, we found it. Okay, there it is. And where were we offering to bring them? The Pepper Sauce Cafe. Let's check how far it is. Okay, it's just a mile away. Arguably, they'll probably know it. Okay, so that's an example of what can be automated, the power of Clay. If anybody wants me to show them how to do this, I'm happy to do that. just to be clear, for free. I can show you in Clay how to do it. I can share my various prompts that I figured out. Or, of course, if you want to partner with me, we can do that as well. We can discuss that on a call. But I'm happy to share whatever I can to help the search fund community. Cheers.